Good morning, everybody, and happy holidays. Welcome to Artfest, Holiday Artfest of 2023. Thank you for being here. I am Keisha Deveni, and what I'm going to be showing you is how to make little Christmas pickles. Okay, so how did the pickles start? Well, of course, we've heard the tradition of hanging a pickle on your Christmas tree. Pickles are considered lucky or hopeful in some countries, maybe not ours, but they're kind of fun, right? But mainly it started because my senior dog Kashi has a little pickle toy that's dressed up for Christmas, and we call it his Christmas pickle, and he loves to play with it. It's his favorite toy. And so we were playing with it a few months ago, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to make some pickles. So that's how it kind of started. So again, thank you for being here. There's not a lot of rules for my little pickles. The only rule I have and insist on is that you just have fun and not worry about, you know, making the perfect pickle, because there's no rules, and it's really just about being creative and having fun with it, okay? So I'm going to switch the camera down to my tabletop so we can see supplies and see what we're going to do next. All right, let's take a look at this pickle pile, will ya? Great stuff. It's so awesome. Love it. So you can see that I have a variety of sizes going on. So here's a very large one. I'd say maybe, yeah, these are probably large. So I had done a pattern that has 3 sizes, and this would probably be the large, okay? And then there's going to be some medium ones. And then there's going to be some little ones. That's baby Dill. So cute. So yeah, you can just see that I've just had a lot of fun making these. That's my minion pickle. Just really had a lot of fun doing these. Where is... Oh yeah, these two. So this is, these are the bandit pickles, right? So you can sort of give them names and, you know, characters, stories, whatever. And, but let's also just talk about a little bit, like, so this is a sweater sleeve that I used. And this one is felt with a sweater as just an accessory. This is a wool sock, a military wool sock. More felt, or I'm sorry, this was from a wool blanket. This is just, you know, that craft fur that you can buy. And this is sweater and felt. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah, mostly felt. I do like to work with the felt. This is a cotton fabric on the front here, and then some tablecloth thing that I upcycled with green. And then you don't have to just stick with green. So this is Pickle. She's a bit of a rebel. So really, it's just up to your imagination, okay? So the first few that I made, I added arms and legs to, which is cute, but I just kind of got tired of that extra step. So the rest of them sort of just are armless and legless, which, you know, pickles don't really have arms anyway. So that's how that evolved. So, yeah, so this is my stash of pickles, and yeah, pretty much that's it for you to view. And I'll take a snapshot of these too and put it in the video, because that'll be fun to be able to sort of look at them again for inspiration. All right, so let's move on to supplies. Okay, real quick before we get to the supplies, you'll notice on that some of the faces are all done differently, and I like that variety. So I'm just explaining to you that you don't have to do one thing, or you don't have to go out and get googly eyes if you don't have to. So this is all just felt, okay? White felt, black felt, red felt. Googly eyes on felt. These are stitched eyes with felt cheeks and a stitched mouth, okay? More felt, and then I used whatever those scissors are called that have the scalloped edging to create that little fancy look. These are buttons for the eyes, and then just some of the sweater that I stitched on. Googly eyes on top of a piece of fabric, felt, you get the picture. Stitched, felt mouth. So really, it really is what you feel like doing, what you have, etc. All right. All right, so let's see what I've got in front of me here. So I've got my favorite glue, and you can either use Fabric Tack or 3-in-1 by Beacon is the brand. Pretty much the same thing, okay? Or maybe you have one of these tacky glue pens. You can use that. This is my favorite, though, for sure, when working with fabric. I've got some embroidery floss, and what's the difference between a skein and a roll? This is already plied, so this is a one ply of thread, and these have 6 plies in them. And I usually divide them and only use 3 ply when I'm working on these little guys. I've got my Pickle patterns, okay, needle threader, some scissors, a couple pins if I need them, needles that are already threaded, ready to go. I've got some googly eyes in here. The small size googly eyes look the best, unless you're making a really big pickle. And then I've also got some black beads in here. That was another thing that I use for eyes, is some black beads. And then some buttons are in here too. Excuse me. I've got some filling for my stuffing. Okay, and then this is what I use to push it in. This is just some sort of doll making tool, but if you have stuffing, it should have a little dowel in it that you can use. Okay, and then this is just excuse my voice, this is just a sharp tool that I use because I've found with these teeny little sizes of the googly eyes that they're very hard to manage, and they come with a sticky back, and so trying to get the sticky back off and hold on to it is quite difficult. So I will use this tool to push it off before I glue it on, because I actually don't feel like the sticky is going to stick really well, so I do the extra step with the glue. Okay, again, stuff like the googly eyes is going to be optional. You can do everything, stitch it all in, you can use your felt, whatever, it's all going to be up to you. And just remember, your creativity is not my creativity, so whatever you feel like doing is going to be up to you. Okay, so a couple other things that I had put in the group, definitely optional, are, and I did a link, I got these on Amazon, are these little hats, which are just adorable. And then I also think I did a link for stockings, but I don't remember. Anyway, they're also off of Amazon. Just look up mini stockings. Unfortunately for the class, I cannot find my bag of the little hats and stockings because Kashi was playing in them and I had to hide them, and now I can't find them. But anyway, I mean, I certainly could make a felt hat if I wanted to, or make a felt stocking. It's just all relative at this point. But anyway, they are kind of fun. Like if you wanted to hang, he might be a little too chubby for that. Let me get another guy. You know, hang on your Christmas tree. Let's find somebody a little taller. Not so chubby. Who's going to be the winning pickle? This guy will go in there pretty good. Right? So just have like some stockings and hang on your tree like that. That's adorable. Or like maybe make a garland out of them. That would be also adorable. All right. So let's get started and make some pickles. Whoops. Of course, I forgot to talk about the fabric. So let's just kind of look at what I have in my fabric stash here. A lot of it is felt, like I said. Some of the felt has been upcycled from other things. I think this was a tablecloth. This is hobby felt. Could make like a little crocodile pickle. Sweater. This is that wool blanket. Again, I think that's from a tablecloth. This is cotton. And then I've got various colors though. So I've got some black in here. And then here's just some Christmas fabric, cotton. And let's see what's at the bottom too. Just more cotton fabric. This is ticking, I think. And then, yeah. So pretty much what doesn't work the best on this project is things with a really loose weave. So this one is super loose. So sweaters can be loose, but they're not as loose as that. So that still has a lot of a tight weave, even though it is a sweater. But this particular piece is very, very loose. You can see how open it is. Those don't work particularly well for dolls. All right. Okay, so we've looked at fabric, and I think we're ready to start. All right, let's get started. So you're going to take one of your pickle patterns, and you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric. You need a front and a back. Okay, so you can take a big piece if you want and just have it folded over for a front and a back. Or if you have 2 separate pieces that you just want to combine, you can do that as well. All right, so I'm going to use this for my front, this for my back. So I'm going to take my pickle pattern and I'm going to trace it. I'm going to trace it on the front, and I'm just going to use a pen. You can use a pencil. I'm not really worried about seeing the pencil or the pen mark because I'm going to be stitching it over. And that's not something that concerns me. So if that's something that bothers you, definitely use something that's lighter colored. Maybe a washable fabric pen or heat set fabric pen. I think when you put the heat on them, the ink disappears. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's all part of the process to me. So just doing a rough sketch of the front of my pickle, just so I know where the reference lines are. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so before they get stitched together, any sort of work that I want to do on my pickle has to be done now. Because for me, once I stitch them together and then start putting in stuffing, and then if I were to try to do the face, what I find and I don't like is the needle pulls the stuffing out onto the needle, and then you're doing this, trying to get it off, and you're trying to get it out of here. So it's just much easier to accomplish it first, okay? So let's talk about faces. What do I want for a face? Get some black. And I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I'm just winging it for the camera. And that's really part of the whole process, though, is just having fun with it. So I'm just going to make a mouth shape. Kind of wonky. I like my things to be sort of wonky-ish. Maybe a little smaller. That's pretty cute. I also like to give my pickles teeth. Might make those a little smaller. But you get the gist. So now he looks like he has a crazy overbite, which I love. I could just decide to, let me cut this thread. I could just make some stitching for the eyes. Okay. And so by stitching, all I'm doing is just coming up from the back, make a bigger knot, come up from the back to the front, and then go back down again. I'll show you. Come up, come down, and that makes a stitch, okay? And then you can make as many stitches as you want. Fill in the eye as much as you want. Make an X. Make a star shape with your stitches. It's just up and down, up and down. So that's sort of a star shape. That's kind of cute. Very cute, right? Super cute already. And then what if I want the other eye to be googly? Or a button? I think I might do a googly. And then eye placement really dictates character, I think. So, you know, if you have one eye over here, or it's lower, or it's closer. So I think the mouth needs to be turned this way, I think. And then I could do something like that, which I think is super adorable. I'm not going to try to fudge around and get that backing off my Google eye for the camera, because that will be painful. So for now, I'm just going to add some glue and pop it on. And they're tiny. They're tiny for my little arthritic hands and fingers. There. And then so I can just add a little glue to this. Of course, I can hand stitch this as well. But for the camera, let's just glue it down. Careful about using too much of the fabric tack, because it squirts out pretty fast, because then it just gets everywhere on the fabric and looks a little messy. All right, so same with your mouth. You can change positions of your mouth when you put it down. So like that looks like that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. What if it's way down here? That's kind of funny. I think I kind of like it a little further down. Super cute. Super cute. Okay, so then the other thing I like to do is find my needle with a black thread. Maybe I'll use a different color. What if I did some of that stitching that we were just doing at the top in red? So same thing, up from the back, down, up from the back to the front, front down to the back. Okay. This is not like meditative embroidery. We're making a beautiful sample or something like that. We're just playing and having fun. So you don't need to spend copious, laborious amounts of time doing this or worrying about it. It's just for fun. I think the longer you spend on a quick and easy little project, the more aggravated you're going to become. So just be loose, have fun, and then you'll find that it's very enjoyable and you can make a bunch of pickles. Okay, so that's my progress so far. Looking adorable. So since I split the fabric and I've got white at the top and white at the bottom, he looks like Santa Pickle. Alright, that's enough stitching up there. Ugh. Okay. All right, so I mean, I really could do more. I could stitch down here if I wanted, give him a belt, so maybe I'll do that. And when I say give him a belt, you know, it's the illusion that there's a belt there, which I guess would be black. Let me get my black. A black belt. Santa has an overbite. So when you're stitching though, you are going to maintain that reference line, right, that we drew, because anything outside of that reference line is not necessarily going to be seen. So if I end up stitching over here, you'll never see that. So stay inside your reference line. And by the way, as far as the reference lines go, if you want to, you know, go over to your sewing machine and just sew a line around your pickle shape, you can also do that. And that'll help you, you know, visually see the inside and the outside. But since we're just doing hand stitching for this little video, I just used my pen. Caught on something. There we go. Okay. Quick and easy. Quick and easy and fun. I love that Santa Pickle has an overbite. It just makes me super happy. All right. And no criticizing your pickle if you don't like your pickle. They're just supposed to be cute and fun. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So now I can just close it. Get my back. So what I need to do, what I need to think about when I'm going to close it though, is I still have to stuff it. So I'm going to stitch all the way around here, and then I'm just going to leave a little opening somewhere to push in the stuffing. Okay, so I'm just going to do that same straight stitch along that line that I pinned in. Okay. Now at this point I would make your stitches, let's see. Before I do that, figure out where you're going to leave your opening. So I'm going to leave it between this little red part and this white part. Okay, so that means ideally the smartest way to do your stitching is to start above that line here. We'll pretend this is imaginary, or I can even just do this so you can see it. Okay, start here, work your way around, and then stop here. Okay. So, same thing, come up from the back and down. Now here I would make your stitches tighter. Not pulling them tight, but shorter in distance. And definitely not loose, because when you go to put your stuffing in, if you have too many gaps, you're just going to push that stuffing out. So please note that I'm not like yanking on this, because what you're going to do is you're going to end up pulling the fabric and making a little ruffle kind of thingy, like a ruche. You don't want that. Okay, tight stitches, not loose, maybe a gentle tug, and continue all the way around. So I will get that finished up off camera and come back and stuff the pickle. Okay, all stitched up, and now I'm going to cut out all this fabric that I don't need. I am going to leave myself a little border as I cut, and you'll see that when I do it. And then I'm going to leave a border here too. Also, I'm going to save this because I thought this part would be cute to just glue right here. So let's cut. Start here by the opening and cut up and leave, I don't know, like a 1/16. Just leave a little bit of a border there. Okay, you can't clip all the way up to the stitches. Okay, something like that. These are not the sharpest scissors, so you might have a nice sharp pair of scissors for this. But again, this is something that's handmade, and any little things that you find that you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's the quirk of a handmade item, okay? All right, so I've left that opening, see? And then you're going to push what you left inside. Like this. I have fumbly fingers. And then I just sort of stretch it a little bit and press it down. Okay. So you'll notice on the back that you can see your stitches, and I'm fine with that. Okay. It's just part of the process. This looks like it's a little loose, so I might have to tighten that. But anyway, so we still have our opening. We pushed it on the inside, and now I can add stuffing. So you want to add a little bit of stuffing at a time. You don't want to take a big wad of stuffing and add it, because it's just kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It'll not move around inside very well. And if you want a nice tight sort of stuffing, just do it in smaller increments. And I just sort of push in towards the ends first, and then work my way down to the middle. Now these aren't very large. We're not going to need a lot of stuffing for this. I think maybe one more, and that's probably good. Please forgive, I'm noticing my fingernails and my fingers are so dirty looking, but they're not dirty. It's just this black paint stuff that I've been working with for another project. I should have cleaned them up a little better. The life of an artist, right? Okay, so that's plenty. So now I can just sew that closed. And I'm just going to grab my red thread because it's handy. Making a knot at the end. And no, I better not do that. I'm going to put the needle inside. Okay, and then I'm going to close it with a whip stitch. You can you know, do a straight stitch all the way down. I don't know, I just always do a whip stitch, and it's just part of their character. Okay, then I'm going to just tie it off, just like that. Whoops. There's my Santa Pickle. So the fabric that I used was from a vintage stocking or something. And so I'm getting a lot of fraying. But regular felt will not do that. Okay, isn't he adorable? So I'm just going to add this. I'm just going to glue it. And there we have it. This looks a little loose over here. Might add just a tiny bit of glue here. And there you go. He is so cute. So, and then the last thing, if you definitely want to hang these on your tree, just make yourself a little hanger. Okay? I'm just using the same floss, knot at the end. Come up from the back. There we go. Sorry, the thread was stuck. I always make them a little bit longer than I think I want them, because I find when you go to put on a Christmas tree, it's easier to have your ornament hanger just a little longer in case you want to push it to the back or anything. Don't make them too short. Okay, I'm just tying it off. And there we go. How adorable is that? Okay, so I cannot wait to see your pickles and have fun experimenting, playing, dressing them up, doing whatever you want to them. And I hope you've enjoyed. Take care.